We have just arrived at Palm Beach International Airport in Florida after traveling from New York City. It is already late in the evening, so I will head to my hotel and then to the Murakami Museum and Japanese Gardens tomorrow morning. After a 3-hour flight south from New York City, we came to the southeastern United States. From the airport, we headed to Delray Beach, the area where our destination is located. The Murakami Museum, Japanese Gardens, is a large 16-acre garden with a very American pond in the center and several different types of gardens around it. Garden with a stream. Of the entire garden, this stream of water was created with special effort. It was boldly and delicately made and well worth seeing. Karesansui Garden. Paradise Garden. Bamboo Grove. An interesting aspect of this garden is that the climate is so warm that deciduous trees such as maple trees do not grow here. Therefore, all trees are evergreen, and the Japanese garden is composed entirely of evergreen trees. There are lizards, which is typical of a warm climate, and crocodiles are also said to inhabit this garden. Why is there a large Japanese garden in such a place? In the early 1900s, young Japanese farmers came to this part of Florida and formed an agricultural colony called Yamato, which is the ancient name for Japan. However, after a while, it became difficult for the Yamato colony to sustain their activities. In the mid-1970s, George Tsukeiji Murakami, who was born in Kyoto and moved to Florida, wanted to preserve the memory of Yamato colony, so he donated this land he owned to Palm Beach County. Then, in 1977, the Murakami Museum and Japanese Garden was opened. Even today, the name Yamato remains here in Florida, such as Yamato Road. I felt that it is because of people like Mr. Murakami, who tried to preserve these places, that we are still able to know about Yamato Colony, and that it continues to provide beauty and peace of mind to many people.
Only on the pull, so it works, back and forth, but the blades are in one direction. We were very, very lucky over the last 2 days to work with the North American Japanese Garden Association and Mishima-san, who was able to help us create this gate, or this fence behind me. He was able to meet with some individuals from the Miami Botanical Garden, I believe, and Mounts Botanical Gardens, and teach them the art and construction of the Japanese fence. They learn to tie knots and which correct way to install the bamboo, and I think they all left with quite an interesting sense of not only Japanese gardens, but how the art and construction of Japanese fences is really set apart and so different from how you would construct one in the Western style or in America. Looking at the details and the things that are important in that type of construction. Gleaning the experience from his 50 years for myself was absolutely amazing. You know, I'm still learning every day, new ways to do things, old traditional ways to do things, and I think that makes this experience extremely unique. We also had some participants that were able to work during a basket weaving workshop, and were able to create a basket and take that home with them, and I think that was very well received.
シアトルの方に飛びますけど、今の体調の方はいかがでしょうか。
声が出ない
ちょっとクーラーがきつかったですね。
熱はないんやけどね、声だけがね出づらいです。
はいはい。まあ本当最後の一箇所なんで、はい、あと少し頑張りましょう。はいはい。
Kubota Garden was started by a Japanese man named Fujitaro Kubota. Mr. Kubota purchased 5 acres of this land in Seattle and started a landscaping business. He cleared the land with his own hands, dug several ponds, planted plants, and eventually created a nursery as large as 20 acres. Kubota then collected plants, stones, and various materials from different areas to this location and created display gardens. The form that remains is this Kubota garden today. Therefore, this garden is a Japanese garden with many different kinds of trees and a rich natural setting. Now a public garden owned by the city of Seattle, it is now a popular year-round destination for people from many cultures to stroll, relax, gather for celebrations, picnic, and take pictures.
Mr. Mishima is from Kyoto, and in your packet there's a bio.
In this bamboo fence workshop, we will make a bamboo fence called a yarai gaki. A yarai gaki fence is a bamboo fence made of crossed bamboos and is used in areas where human entry is prevented. Since this garden is a park that anyone can enter at any time, we made sure to place these in areas where people are not allowed to pass through.
This workshop gave us an opportunity to bring Mr. Mishima from Kyoto to teach many of our local gardeners from other gardens how to make the yarai gaki fence. And we were able, at Kubota, we had locations where we were able to install it to keep people out of areas, which is why that fence is built. We had 10 to 12 people participating from regional gardens like Lodell Reserve, the Seattle Japanese Garden, and here at Kubota Garden. And people were excited working together in teams to put together a project and learn how to tie the Shironawa knots and put together a project that will be installed here at the garden.
今で2週間無事に終わりまして、今の心境というか感想などありましたら。
2週間は疲れました。はい。
そうですね。
移動がやっぱり多いのでね。
はい。
疲れます。
うん。
やっぱり気温差もね、移動が先での気温がだいぶ違うんだよね。
はい。大変でしたね。
風邪をひいた。
はいはいはい。あとはどうでしたか。あと感想は
感想はね、どうでしょうかね。うまく伝わったのかどうかっていうのが心配ですね。はい、
そうですね。はい。なかなか難しいことがね、はい、多かったんで、はい。まあ伝わってるといいですね。はい。はい。じゃああとは、今から羽田に帰るだけですね。はいはい。じゃあ気をつけて帰りましょう。はい。ありがとうございます。はいはい。
ここまで動画をご覧いただきましてありがとうございました。今回のアメリカの動画はこちらで終了となります。次回はお庭作りの動画を上げたいと思いますので、そちらも楽しみにお待ちください。最後になりますが、今回の動画、私の活動を気に入っていただけましたら、ぜひともご支援のほどよろしくお願いいたします。それではまた次回の動画でお会いしましょう。さようなら。